My name is Ava Pitcel. Today is March 24th, 2026, and the time is 2:25. We are at the Pewaukee VFW, and I am interviewing Don Kuether, who was born August 12th, 1940, in Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, and served during the Vietnam era between 1964 and 1968. Don Kuether was a SB-4 rank in the Army and served as a Morse code interceptor. This interview is sponsored by the Bell Tower Memorial. So, can you tell me what you were doing before you entered the service?
Well, actually, I quit my job. I was working at a grocery store in Wisconsin.
What grocery store?
A&P in Menominee Falls.
Mm-hmm.
They actually closed it not shortly thereafter. Maybe they missed me that much. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
So me and another friend of mine, we decided, well, we're both going to have to go in the service.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have good numbers because
Mm-hmm.
you're at that time the Army was you didn't have a choice. You
Mm-hmm.
were drafted unless you had a really high number, then you were exempt.
What do you mean by high number? Like, do you mean like grades?
No, you would just get a number assigned to you. Let's say one, I don't know if it was 1,000 or what, and then they'd start over again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't remember the numbering system, but I had a low number, so I knew I was going to get drafted. So I decided, well, he and I both decided, let's go to Florida for a couple of months, which we did.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't work. He worked at a fast food restaurant, and I just lounged on the beach and took it easy.
Mm-hmm.
So my time initially was just having fun, and then after a while, I was getting a little leery. My parents said, well, you were getting letters from the selective service. They want you to report. So I quit that job, moved back to Ohio where my parents were working, or my dad was working. And I ended up signing up for the United States Army.
Mm-hmm.
The Army Security Agency is a specialized agency, and it was a 4-year commitment. Normally, armies, you can be drafted for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
You can join for 3 years, but this was a special service, extra schooling, so I had to sign up for 4 years. It was easy. I'm a ham radio operator.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to learn Morse code, but I learned that when I was 15.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that? How'd you get into that?
Oh, actually, our neighbor was the chief engineer at WTMJ.
Mm-hmm. What's that? Sorry.
Radio station.
Oh, okay.
You've heard of that.
Yeah.
Okay. 620. And he said, well, you listen right here. I'll contact somebody and I'll talk to them and I'll tell them what I'm doing. I mean, I couldn't say anything, but I could listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
So they were having a conversation. I just thought, well, this is kind of nifty. You talk to people all over the world. I don't remember where this other guy was from, but the person who got me interested was also a Menominee Falls person.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I got my start. I took a test, passed it, got a license,
Mm-hmm.
and
What's the equipment used for that?
pardon?
Like, what's the equipment used for, like, listening?
Oh, there's radios made just for shortwave radios made just
Mm-hmm.
for ham radio,
Mm-hmm.
and you can pay up to $15,000, $20,000 for them if you want,
Oh my gosh.
and that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, the average person probably spends $300-400
Mm-hmm.
for a radio to transmit and receive. But the capabilities are, and in this day and age with the way things are set up, you can speak to someone by speaking to the moon, and then it bounces back to him at a different frequency. So it's interesting, to say the least.
Can you tell me a little bit about how your family reacted to you joining the military?
Well, they knew it was going to happen,
Yeah.
so they just accepted it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a younger brother. I had a younger brother. He passed away, but he joined because no, he finished college, I think, though. He went to University of Cincinnati. He finished college and then went in the Army. And when he came out, he became, he got a job, and but he passed away, unfortunately, a few years ago, because he's 6 years younger than me, but he had a bad heart and he just didn't make it. But I'm still kicking. And I got a sister that's a couple of years older than me. She's still kicking. But there were 4 kids. 2 have passed away, and my parents, they've passed away. But it's really a unique hobby, I think, that you can talk to somebody all over the world, and not, any place. Even, you can talk to people in Russia. They're just like us.
Yeah.
They may speak with an accent and may not speak real good English, but we don't speak real good Russian. So the commitment is equal.
What was it like having to say goodbye to your family and friends when you joined the military?
Oh, let's see. I think my dad, it wasn't anything, it was a little emotional, but not too much. It was more like, well, it's something you have to do. And so I was committed to it, and I was taken to, I think it was Dayton Airport. I got on the plane, and they flew me to South Carolina, where I had my basic training for 8 weeks.
Can you tell me a little bit about basic training?
It's awful. Basic training is just what it says. You learn the basics of how to be a serviceman in the Army. You obey orders, and you don't go your way, you go their way, because they're in charge. But it's kind of difficult initially until you get the hang of it. You can play the game for a while, but eventually you have to do the job that you're assigned. And of course, basic training is training. It's not so much what your job is. I went to school afterwards up in Fort Devens, Massachusetts, for 9 months.
What was an average day of basic training like for you?
Oh, it was 6 in the morning till probably 6 at night.
Wow.
I mean, and it was all day. It wasn't where you would sit around and they made you work. They made you do stuff. I can't remember the particulars so much, but I remember how tired and worn out you were by the end of the day. You were just glad to get into bed when it was time.
Was that adjustment hard?
A little bit initially, but even that, it was 8 weeks. So after about 2 weeks, you sort of get used to what you're in for.
So after basic training, where'd you go?
I went to Fort Devens, Massachusetts. I didn't even need to go because it was for kids who had the same MOS, that's military occupational specialty. Well, they had the same, the people that had the same as me or similar.
How do you find that out?
You take tests when you're in basic training.
Oh, okay.
And you take Morse code tests too. Well, that I flew it by with flying colors, but so I mastered that, and that's where they put me then into the Army Security Agency as a Morse interceptor. But you had to go to school for that. I wouldn't have had to. I had to learned the logistics of it, though, of how to, and there was no computers then, so you were on a typewriter and headsets,
Yeah.
and so you listened and you typed what was said, and uh, you learned how to format what they're sending you. This is still practice now, and at in Massachusetts. Neat state, a nice state to go to. I was real happy at school.
What was it like learning Morse code interception at the college level?
Well, I was already a ham radio operator, so I knew more. It was simple for me. It's really difficult for a lot of people, but for me it was a piece of cake. I didn't have any problems.
Passed with flying colors?
Flying colors, yeah. 30 words a minute. Each words are considered 5 letters, so I had to have the capability. I was probably one of the best in the class because I had 30 words per minute, which is 30 times 150 words a minute that they were sending me that I had a copy. That was interesting, but that was still just practice. When you get over to your unit, which was in Germany, then you go to the next where you assigned places, and that's where I was for 37 or 36 months.
Yeah. So you went to Germany?
Yes.
Was that right after college? Did you get a break at all?
Well,
right after your
I
schooling?
got 2 weeks off. I went home and
Was your family happy to see you?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
But then when I forgot. I think I just took a bus. I'm sure I just took a bus up to Fort Devens. But then at Christmas or something, I went home, and then I had a car, so I drove my car up, and I had, when I wasn't training or in training, I could go out and do whatever I wanted to do. And I met a lot of friends.
Yeah.
And so we would go out and do what young kids do.
Yeah. Can you tell me about the trip to Germany? Like, how did you travel to Germany?
Well, the first time I went there, I only went once, but I was on a ship. I happened to, there was like 12 of us or 15 of us, I don't remember exactly anymore. And the rest of the guys were in the bottom of the ship, like you would maybe picture in a movie. You're in a crummy little place but because the ship was so crowded, the 15 of us were in the hospital.
Oh.
It's the middle of the ship.
Yeah.
It's the best spot you could possibly be. Now, I don't know if that was arranged because of what I was in or not, but that was supreme. That was really a good spot to be in, and a good way to go. So that took, I think that took like 7 days to get by ship to Bremerhaven, Florida, Germany. And then they assigned me to Bad Aibling, Germany, which is southern Germany. So I got naturally it's all free because I'm in the service.
Yeah.
So I got a free trip to my duty. I think they dropped me off in Munich, and then somebody in Munich picked me up and took me to my base, where I stayed for the next 33 years.
Was your base close to any like major cities?
Munich, a major big city.
Yeah.
It was nice. It's a gorgeous city. If you get a chance, go.
My parents were just in Munich, so.
Were they either in Germany?
Jealous. Yeah.
Did they go to Munich?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then they probably saw all the stuff that I saw.
Yeah. What did a typical day look like for you in Germany?
Well, it's a little bit different because there were 4 tricks. A trick was 3 tricks were working and 1 trick was off.
Okay.
So you would work 6 days on, 2 days off, 6 days on, 2 days off, 6 days on, 3 days off. And then those times when you're off, you're free to, unless they're going to have some kind of army thing going on, you were free to go with your friends and go to Austria or wherever you wanted to go. I had a car, so me and my friends did a lot of driving throughout Germany.
Yeah. Did you buy a car when you were in Germany?
I did end up buying a new car, and I had it shipped back to the U.S.
Oh.
That didn't work out so well.
What happened?
I don't know. There was something wrong with the car, and it never functioned like it was supposed to.
Yeah. Was it difficult buying a car in Germany?
No, not at all. They're happy to see American money.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But on a day that you were working, what did a typical day look like?
Well, you would, on one shift, because it rotates, you'd be days, and then you'd, let's say, work 7 to 3, something like that. You sit with a pair of headsets and a typewriter, and you listen to 2 radios. They were made by Collins Radio, which is a very well-known radio company. And you would listen to they were talking to each other. Now these are normally Russians speaking to each other in Russian, but they're using code. I mean, they're using 5, like we would copy 5 letters, but you wouldn't know what it was. So we would copy what they sent, and then we'd send it to the code breakers, and then they would tell us if they could break the code, they would give us what was happening. And it was peacetime for the most part. But there was a time when you were too young, but they had the 6-day war in Israel. Anybody remember that? Okay. And Israel just creamed them. It was a 6-day war. They defeated everybody. So that was kind of nifty for our side. But it was just us copying what they're sending to each other, and then you'd have, because we were pretty close. And there was another time, and then where they had bad storms in, I think, Hungary, and they were talking to them. We were just copying what they were saying about what was going on, how bad was the rain and the overrun of water and stuff. So we got to know a little bit what was going on while it was happening. That was interesting.
Yeah. How fast did you have to type when you were doing Morse code?
Well, there were different Russian languages, let's say, and some of these guys were really good, these Russians. They would know how to use a code key really fast, and they would do it electronically rather than like this. You do it electronically, and I would say 30 words a minute would be pretty fast, but a lot of guys, you'd have to know how to copy the 30 words a minute. And that was interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you didn't know what they said because it was all broken down. And then I would just copy what was sent, send it into the next priority, and then they would try to break the code. They did. They were pretty good at it, too.
Yeah.
So we heard a lot of what was happening and how it was happening.
So were your radios, were they always on like a Russian frequency? I don't know if that makes sense.
No, because the frequencies, anybody could get on a radio and listen to it.
Yeah.
But they were big radios. They were $1,000 radios. They were like 2 feet.
Wow.
They were awesome radio for the time. Now they're not considered so great anymore, but at the time when I was in the Army, they were considered the best radios you could possibly use. And so I enjoyed that part of it a lot.
Mm-hmm. So did you have to figure out how to like find the Russian
Yes,
frequency?
yeah.
Yeah.
And about every 6 days they had frequencies they used repeatedly.
Mm-hmm.
You had to know what frequency they were going to be on. Sometimes they wouldn't go on the one you thought they were going to go on. They'd go on a different one, but you would eventually find it, and then you would, for the next 6 days, you and your people who are copying that particular code language would be copying that particular code.
Mm-hmm. I have a question though. Would you ever run into other languages or other countries sending each other Morse code?
No, actually not, because you were assigned to listen to a certain priority code.
Okay.
Certain people.
Okay.
You were told to copy the Russian, so that's what you did.
Okay. Yeah. Is there anything about your job that was very challenging for you?
Not for me personally, because I knew Morse code so well. It was more fun, you know. And if they're not always on, I mean, let's say they're on once every 2 hours or so, and a lot of it's just practice for themselves. You still have to copy it, whether whether it's going to be important or not. And they had a way, like let's say, to start a code, they might type 5A's. Well, 5A's means high priority. That means you would pay attention to what the guy's doing, because he's a Russian and he's copying, he's sending code to his friend or to another associate. And so we would have to copy that, even though it was kind of useless. I mean, unless there was a war. Right now, a lot of what they send, now it's even at a higher level, is much more involved.
Yeah.
So it's harder to copy. It's more difficult. But, we've learned to break their codes, and they learn to trick us.
Yeah.
And they do the same thing. We send code too. And they have people that do the same thing we do, only on the opposite end. So.
Yeah. Sorry. Why were you listening to the Russians exactly?
Well, because they're our arch enemy.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, we were more, 64 to 68. I think they were pretty high up in the hierarchy of nations that we didn't like and didn't get along with. So you have, that's where the United States Army assigned me, and that's what I did then. So.
When you were there, did you ever feel the tension between the United States and Russia?
No. Matter of fact, when I left, the day before I left, 2 Russians that knew each other talked to me. I mean, they just sent me stuff like, well, Don, it's been nice knowing you for a couple of years. So they copied, they sent it, they copied it. They did it in English, and they did it in clear text, which means they didn't make special. They just said, good luck, Don, and that nature, that type of nature. I had to look behind my radio to see if somebody was playing games with me.
Yeah.
But no, they weren't. It was really happening. And
wow.
How they knew who I was and where I was, I don't know. But
yeah,
that was probably one of the most interesting days of my career in the Army.
Wow, that's really crazy. You mentioned that on your downtime you like to travel.
Yeah, but just locally.
Yeah.
I was in a city called Bad Aibling, and it's actually a small town.
I have a map if you want to point to it, maybe.
It was it was it was right between Munich and Garmisch,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't have a pen, but I could put a
Yeah.
pencil there, and that's about where I'd be. And so,
Did you ever travel outside of Germany?
yeah, a friend and I went to Italy, went to Rome,
Mm-hmm.
um, took a lot of pictures,
Mm-hmm.
and that was an interesting week because we actually ended up in a hostel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
are you familiar?
Yeah.
It's just sort of like you're renting a small space and you share a shower probably and
Mm-hmm.
that type of thing. But we didn't mind, for guys, it's not a big deal. So we stayed there for a week and had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to see a lot of Rome on the Army's dime.
Yeah. Was that your favorite place you visited?
Well, I think Germany was still the better.
Yeah.
I went to Austria,
Mm-hmm.
so trying to with her. I can't think of the name of the big cities in Austria now, but
Mm-hmm.
uh, visited Austria. I never did go to Spain, but I did go north a little bit to northern Germany,
Yeah.
um, and just visited like overnight or something.
Mm-hmm.
I love Germany. I think
Yeah.
they're very Americanized, and
Mm-hmm. Were you able to communicate with your family at all while you were in Germany?
not for 37 months.
37 months, no letters or anything?
Oh no, I would write them, and they would write me.
Mm-hmm.
But
So you couldn't like call them at all?
I never called them, not once.
Wow.
That worked out though.
Mm-hmm. And you didn't see them for...
No, 37 months.
Wow. Did you ever grow a little bit homesick?
Oh yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
Especially when you're getting close. If you're a month away from
Mm.
going home, you're
Yeah.
getting a little more homesick, and you don't
Yeah.
care much about the Army anymore.
Yeah. And then coming home, what was it like to see your family again?
Well, I got to fly home. That
Oh,
was.
yeah.
I don't think there were many ships at that time.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were just flying just about everybody home that was going home.
Why do you think you took a ship there then if you
It
flew
was
back?
just a different era. A little, it was
Yeah.
37 months sooner,
Yeah.
and the world was in a different chaos, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just how they put me on a.
Did they think that that was safer than flying?
Oh no, flying is still awesome.
So coming home to see your family, was it easy to adjust back to regular life?
Oh sure, I didn't have a job. I had
Yeah.
few bucks put away, but I didn't have a job at the time. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know if I was going to stay in Ohio with my parents or move. But I decided I'm going to go back to Menominee Falls and
Yeah.
reacquaint myself with my friends. By then, a couple of them were married and had children, so
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't quite the same because you didn't do the same things that you did previous to being in the Army.
Yeah. Did you keep in touch with any of your Army friends?
I did. Yeah, I have. Not, now, not so much. I would say not at all, actually, anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Just my family and my friends that I've acquainted beyond the Army.
Mm-hmm. Then after the Army, what job did you work?
I had two jobs. One was I worked for, I forgot, It's a company. They're in Menominee Falls now. It's called Glenroy. They make it's a huge company because they got the building is gigantic.
Yeah.
They make loaves of bread, not the bread itself. They make the loaves though, and then they ship it to whoever's buying their product.
Yeah.
So, and then I didn't. That was just to get me going out of the Army and into something. And then I end up. My best friend was working for a small fire protection company.
Yeah.
We serviced fire extinguishers, and other nature of those things. So I was offered a job with them, and I took it. And then I stayed there like, let's see, 35 years or so.
Yeah.
Retired, and this is where I am today.
You were in the reserves, weren't you, after your
Yeah,
time?
but when you're in for 4 years, you don't have to go to any reserve meetings.
Oh, that's nice.
If you get drafted, you have 2 years of reserves. I don't think at 3 years you have, but I was obligated to 4 years. So once I paid my 4 years, I didn't have to go to any types of reserves. I was still in active duty for 2 more years because your total obligation is 6 years.
So what does that mean exactly?
Well, it means if there's a war, they're going to call you back.
Okay. Yeah.
There wasn't.
And then how did your time in the Army change you?
Well, I think you automatically mature a lot. You just become more used to living a regular lifestyle than doing things your way. You do things the way they should be done. I've had an interesting life. I'm satisfied.
Yeah. What would you consider to be your most important contribution during your service?
Oh boy. I was an exception to the rule because I knew Morse code so well.
Yeah.
So if they couldn't figure out something or try to find something, they'd say, Don, can you go over here, come here and sit at this radio for a while and see what you can.
Yeah.
And I solved some semi-difficult problems that they had. So that was interesting. But there was no one thing that stood out because there was nothing. I didn't save a life or anything of that nature.
Yeah. What advice would you give to young people thinking about joining the military today?
I wouldn't be afraid to, if not everybody's suited for college. I certainly wasn't.
Yeah.
And I would say that if you want to do something for a couple years, join the Army or Navy, whatever the case may be, the service, and get yourself a good education because college is free once you go. You can get 3 or 4 years of college at no charge if you do it through the military. So that part of it is good.
Did you do that?
No, I didn't. No. Got a job and went to work.
Do you ever wish you did go to college?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Because I would have made more money and, I had a little better lifestyle probably, but I did okay.
Yeah. And going back to when that Russian Morse code operator said good luck to you, how did that make you feel? Like, was that shocking?
Oh, it was nifty. I was just like on seventh heaven. Gee, somebody cares about what I did. And they expressed their appreciation. So.
Yeah. And then really quickly, is there anything I haven't asked you that you wish to share?
Oh, no, I think we covered it all.
Yeah. And lastly, would you ever want to visit Germany again?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm 85 years old. I don't know if they'd want me anymore. My wife's
Mm-hmm.
in a nursing home, so she couldn't go with me. I probably wouldn't go now, but I would like the concept of it because
Yeah.
Germany's just an awesome place to visit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
Alrighty.
did we cover the? How did we do on time?
We're good.
Huh.
In closing, this has been an interview of Don Kuether regarding his service during the Vietnam era. My name is Ava Pitcel. The time is 3:01. Thank you for agreeing to this interview, and most importantly, thank you for your service.
You betcha. Thank you.